Hello students, welcome to AriserTalent. As you know, we are studying very important and interesting chapter, that is food and human health. In my previous lecture, I told you about food, what is balanced diet, why do we need the balanced diet, and what are the components of the balanced diet. In that components, I told you about the carbohydrates, fats, proteins, water and roughies. Now in this lecture, I am going to talk you about the vitamins and minerals. Okay, so let's start. First of all, let me mention here vitamins and minerals. We will talk about vitamins. As I told you that vitamins and minerals help us to fight diseases. They are very essential for our body, okay, and they are found in the food. Even they are found in the little amount. They are required by our body in the little amount, but still they are very essential. How they are essential? If you talk about the vitamins, then this is this is required in the very little amount, but it helps in the metabolism. Okay, so let me mention vitamins are essential. These are essential components as they help in metabolism. Okay, even they are required in a very little amount, but still they are important because they help in the metabolism. They are required, or these are required in very little amount. These are required in very little amount by our body. These vitamins, generally we get the vitamins from the different sources like fruits and vegetables, okay, and but these are very essential for the metabolism. Fine. Now let me tell you about the minerals. As I told you, these vitamins and minerals help us to fight diseases. How they help us to fight diseases? Because they boost up our immunity. Fine. Generally we get vitamins from the fruits and vegetables. Okay, they help us to boost up our immunity. Next is minerals. Actually, the minerals are inorganic substances. Okay. Next is minerals. So these minerals are inorganic substances. Generally these are inorganic substances. Okay, and generally the minerals like what? Iron, iodine, calcium, phosphorus, these are required by our body. Okay, minerals like iron, zinc, calcium, phosphorus are required by our body. So let me tell you that iron, if we talk about the iron, then we all know that iron is very essential for our blood. Why? Because it helps to make blood hemoglobin. Okay, it is required. It helps in making blood hemoglobin. Okay, and this hemoglobin carry oxygen to the different parts of body. Fine. This hemoglobin transport oxygen to different parts parts of the body. Okay, so as we all know that we need strong bones and teeth for the regulation of our life. Okay, for the life we need strong bones and teeth. So that here I have mentioned calcium, which is a mineral. So calcium is needed for the strength and rigidity of bones and teeth. Okay, so next is calcium. Next mineral is calcium. Okay, so this calcium, it provides strength and rigidity to bones and muscles. Okay, this provide rigidity and strength to bone and muscle. Thus we can say minerals are very essential for our body. Okay, hope you all have seen some white mark or white patches on the shirt. Of what? These patches are of sweat. Generally this patches, white patches of sweat on the shirt or on the clothes proves that they contain sodium chloride. That is what? That is common salt. Okay, so these are all minerals which are required by the body for proper functioning. Fine. Now we will talk about, as I told you, that all these components are essential for our body for the proper functioning and growth. Fine. So if you want to grow properly, if you want proper development of your body, of your organs, then what do you need? You need all these nutrients like carbohydrate, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water or phase in the proper amount. Fine. Now if we do not take these nutrients in our diet, then what will happen? Then definitely we will be prone to the diseases, we will suffer from some deficiency diseases. As I told you here that all the nutrients are required in some amount for the proper functioning of our growth. Means each and every nutrient performs a specific function in our body. Okay, so if there will be lack of any nutrients, then definitely that nutrient, the lack of that nutrient will cause some damage to our body, and that condition is known as malnutrition. Okay, now let me define what is malnutrition. Next is malnutrition. What is malnutrition? It is the condition of lack of nutrients in the body. Fine. When the nutrients are lacking in our body, definitely they cause some damage, and then this condition is known as malnutrition. Okay. So what is malnutrition? Malnutrition means the condition that results or that occurs due to the lack of nutrients, or we can mention lack of nourishment. Lack of nourishment. Fine. So this is known as malnutrition. So how this occur? How this condition occur? This condition occurs because of the lack of balanced diet or due to the bad habits of eating. Okay. So how this condition occur? This condition occurs due to lack of balanced diet. Okay, means if you will not take a balanced diet, if there will be lack of any nutrient, then definitely it will affect your body, it will occur or it will cause some damage in your body. Okay, or due to bad eating habits. What are the bad eating habits? Like if you are taking more of junk food, if you are taking lots of cold drinks, tea, coffee, then definitely it will cause harm to your body. Okay, it will lack the nutrients. If you will take more pizza, burger, french fries, if you will take Chinese food in the excess amount, means if you will consume fast food rather than balanced diet, then definitely it will cause the lack of nutrients in the body, and that condition will known as malnutrition. Fine. Now the thing is, what are the symptoms of this malnutrition? How can you identify that person is suffering from malnutrition? Maybe fatigue, person feel fatigue, he is not capable to do more work because he doesn't have energy to do the function, okay, or do the activities because he is not taking proper diet. So what are the symptoms? Symptoms of malnutrition are fatigue, dizziness, okay, these are the symptoms of malnutrition. So thus we can say, means lack of nutrients, that condition is known as malnutrition, and it affects an individual physically as well as mentally. So thus we can say that the malnutrition affects physical and mental health of an individual. Okay, so thus we can say malnutrition affects both physical and mental health of an individual. Okay, it affects what? It affects our physical appearance, it affects our physical health as well as it affects our mental health if a person is suffering from a malnutrition. Clear? Now what are the, as I told you, the different components of balanced diet. Now I will tell you what are the diseases which are caused by the deficiency of those components. First of all, we will talk about vitamin malnutrition. Okay. Vitamin malnutrition. When there is deficiency of vitamin in the food, means lack of vitamin causes malnutrition. Okay, lack of, though we know we need vitamins in a very little amount, but still, as I told you, these vitamins play important role in metabolism. So vitamins are very essential for our body. Okay, so if there will be lack of vitamin, it will cause many diseases in our body. Okay, lack of vitamins causes vitamins malnutrition. Okay, so what are the diseases caused by lack of vitamin in our body? Let me tell you. Here, this is vitamins malnutrition. As I told you, different types of vitamins are required by our body. Though vitamins are required in a very little amount, but different types of vitamins perform different functions in our body. So if there will be lack of that vitamin, definitely it will call vitamin malnutrition. So let's discuss vitamin A, that is retinol, also known as retinol. Deficiency disease, if there will be the deficiency of vitamin A, definitely it will cause night blindness. Okay, now what are the symptoms of this night blindness? How do you know that the person is suffering from night blindness? Dryness of eyes, that is known as keratomalacia, and improper vision. Okay, when the person is suffering from improper vision or dryness is there in the eyes, then this condition is known as night blindness, and it is caused by the deficiency of vitamin A. Then if there is the deficiency of vitamin B1, then it will cause diseases like beriberi, Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome. Okay, As well as what are the symptoms? How will you identify that the person is suffering from this disease? Inflammation. What is inflammation? Inflammation is a condition of redness or swelling in the particular organ. Okay, so here inflammation of nerves, digestive problems and heart abnormalities. Okay, when the person is not feeling well, the inflammation is there in the nerves, as well as he is suffering from digestive problems, then these are the symptoms of beriberi, which is caused by the deficiency of vitamin B1. Now, vitamin B12. Okay, the deficiency diseases which is caused by the deficiency of vitamin B12, that is anemia. Anemia means deficiency of blood also. Okay, so what are the symptoms? Pale skin, when the skin becomes dull. Okay, lack of stamina and appetite, and frequent headaches, when the person doesn't have stamina to stand or to work for the long time. Fine. Or lack of appetite, when the diet reduces. Okay, and the frequent headache, when he is suffering from continuous headache, frequent headache. Why it is so? Because we all know that we need a proper flow of blood in the body. Fine. So if the blood will flow towards the brain, it will function properly. But if there will be lacking of the blood there in the brain, definitely we will feel some stress or we will feel some headache there. Clear? So what are the symptoms of anemia? Pale skin means the skin becomes dull, there is a deficiency of blood. Okay, lack of stamina, person is not capable to do work for a long time. Or appetite, lack of appetite means he doesn't take the proper diet, and frequent headaches. Now, next is vitamin C, that is also known as ascorbic acid. Okay, what are the deficiency diseases caused by the vitamin C? That is scurvy. If there is a lack of vitamin C in the body, definitely it will cause the disease that is known as scurvy. Okay, now what are the symptoms of it? Loosening of teeth, spongy and bleeding gums. Fine. If it is the general symptom, if your gums are bleeding continuously, you must take care of them, that you must have to add vitamin C in your diet. Okay. Increased susceptibility to diseases, slow healing of wounds, weakness, pain in the limbs. If you are suffering, limbs means forelimbs and hind limbs. Okay. So if you are feeling some weakness in the limbs, or there is continuous bleeding in the gums, or you are losing the teeth, or if you get injured, then if your wounds are healing very slowly, then you must understand that there is a deficiency of vitamin C. Next is vitamin D, that is also known as calciferol. Deficiency of vitamin D causes rickets and osteomalacia. Okay, here osteomalacia means we can understand it is related to bones. Okay, so what are the symptoms? Weak bones, joint and bone become deformites, and such as bow legs and pigeon chest, softening of ribs, protruding abdomen. Okay, so these are the symptoms of what? These are the symptoms of rickets or osteomalacia. So if a person is not taking proper nutrient like vitamin D, then he will suffer these diseases. Okay, and the symptoms are these. Fine. If the person is suffering from deficiency of vitamin K, then the disease will be hemorrhage. Hemorrhage means excessive bleeding. Okay, once you get injured, then there will be excessive bleeding from there. Okay, so that is known as hemorrhage. Okay, what are the symptoms? It affects the clotting of blood. Fine. So these are the deficiency diseases which are caused by the deficiency of vitamins, and these are known as vitamins malnutrition. Fine. So here we studied about the deficiency of vitamins, that is known as vitamin malnutrition. I told you the different types of vitamins, and if there will be the deficiency of those vitamins, what will be the diseases which will be caused in the human body. Now we will talk about the protein malnutrition. What is protein malnutrition? When there is a deficiency of protein in the body, okay, then it is known as protein malnutrition. So generally it causes two types of diseases. What are they? Kwashiorkor and marasmus. Okay. Next is protein malnutrition. Generally, it is also known as PEM. PEM means protein energy malnutrition. Okay. Protein energy malnutrition, also known as PEM. Okay, so if there is a deficiency of proteins in the body, I told you that protein help us to build muscles, it help us to make tissues, fine. So it help us to make skin, bones, blood, etc. So if there will be the deficiency of proteins in the body, it will cause two types of diseases. They will be kwashiorkor and marasmus. It causes just a minute. It causes kwashiorkor and marasmus. Okay. Okay, so now let me define the diseases. First of all, we will talk about kwashiorkor. What is kwashiorkor? Kwashiorkor disease is a disease, okay, in which the child do not grow and develop properly, and it remain or he remain stunted for their lives. Okay, child does not grow or develop properly and remain stunted for life. Okay, now what are the symptoms of kwashiorkor? The symptoms are fatigueness, fatigue, okay, diarrhea, loss of weight, or mass. Okay, beside it we can say failure to grow. As I told you that child does not grow or develop properly due to the lack of protein. Kwashiorkor is caused by the lack of protein in the food. Fine, when the child does not take the diet which is rich in protein, or there is a lack of protein, then child does not grow or develop properly. This disease is known as kwashiorkor. Fine, and the child remains stunted for the life. What are the symptoms? He feels fatigue, loss of weight or mass. Fine, beside it failure to grow or gain weight, okay, as well as swelling in the muscles, okay, swelling of ankles, feet, etc. Fine, these are the symptoms of kwashiorkor. Now we will talk about next, that is marasmus. Marasmus is the more dangerous disease than the kwashiorkor. Why it is so? Because generally it is the decay of the body. Okay. Next is marasmus. What is marasmus? Marasmus is the decaying of the body. Okay, muscles do not grow properly. Okay, so ribs are visible. Fine, what are the symptoms? Symptoms are decline in weight, decline in weight, okay, then ribs are visible, okay, ribs are visible, as well as I must say that the color of hair and skin changes. Fine. So these are the symptoms of marasmus, in which the muscles do not grow and they get damaged. This is the reason that the ribs are visible. Fine. So ribs are visible as skin becomes thin. Okay. So here we must mention eyes sunken. Okay, eyes are sunken because muscles are not building. Okay, muscles are not building. So this is the reason that the ribs are visible as well as eyes are sunken. So these are the symptoms of marasmus in which the decaying of the body take place. Now we will talk about the mineral malnutrition. Minerals, let me talk about minerals. Next is mineral malnutrition. Okay. What is mineral malnutrition? Generally, we all know that the minerals are inorganic substances and they play an important role in our body. Okay. Minerals are inorganic substances and play an important role in our body. Okay, as I told you that there are different types of minerals like iron, calcium, phosphorus, zinc. Okay, these all are required by our body. As I told you that iron helps to form blood, okay, as well as it helps to form blood hemoglobin. Calcium provides strength and rigidity to the bones. So thus we can say each and every mineral is essential as it performs an important role in our body. So now we are going to talk about the malnutrition, when there will be the lack of the minerals in our body. Okay, so they will cause the different diseases. Fine, what are they? Here let me talk about calcium first. As I told you that the minerals like calcium, iron, zinc, phosphorus are very important lack of these nutrients or lack of these minerals causes many deficiency diseases in our body. Okay, so what are the minerals and what are the source of these minerals and what are the diseases which are caused by the deficiency of these minerals? Let me explain you. First of all, we will talk about calcium. If we talk about the calcium, then the source of calcium is what? Dairy products like dark green vegetables and dried legumes. Okay, if you will consume them, if you will eat them in the sufficient amount, you will get the sufficient calcium which is required by your body. Main functions: it provides strength to the bones, tooth, okay, and formation of blood. Even it helps in the blood clotting as well, and neural and muscles action. Fine. So now you can understand that how much the calcium is important for us. effects of chronic deficiency. If there will be chronic deficiency of this calcium, then it will be stunted growth. There will be stunted growth of the individual and possibly diminished bone mass. Diminished bone mass means osteoporosis. When the bones becomes weakened, okay, when the bones become weak, that condition is known as osteoporosis. Fine. Next mineral is iodine. Okay, iodine, generally the source of iodine is what? Marine fish, shellfish, iodized salt and dairy products. Okay, generally main function is thyroid hormone formation. You already have studied about the iodine, that it is required for the thyroid hormone formation in the chapter when we studied about the hormones. Okay, and effect of chronic deficiency will be enlarged thyroid, which will cause goiter disease. Goiter is a disease in which thyroid gland becomes large, okay, with the metabolic disorder. Fine. So, as we all know that the deficiency of iodine causes goiter. Goiter is a disease in which thyroid gland becomes enlarged, okay. Next is iron. Next very important mineral is iron. So, the common source of iron is whole grains, green leafy vegetables, legumes, nuts, eggs, lean meat, molasses and dry fruits and shellfish. Fine. What are the main functions of this iron? Formation of hemoglobin and cytochrome. Then it transport chain components. What is cytochrome? Cytochrome is the transport chain component. Fine. As well as hemoglobin is also transport chain in component, because it helps in the what? It helps to transport oxygen in the blood. Okay. Means from one organ to the another organ. Now, if there will be the deficiency of iron, then it will cause iron deficiency, anemia, impaired immune function. Okay, I told you that generally anemia is caused by the deficiency of iron as well as the deficiency of vitamin. Next is phosphorus. Phosphorus is also an important mineral which we get from the whole grains, poultry and red meat. Okay. Main function of it is component of bone, teeth, nucleic acid, ATP means adenosine triphosphate and phospholipids. We all know that phosphorus helps to It helps in the formation of bones and teeth with the calcium. Phosphorus is also required for the strong bones and teeth. Fine. So, if there will be the deficiency of phosphorus, then it will cause muscular weakness, loss of minerals from bones, rickets and osteomalacia. Next is sodium. Common source of sodium is table salt, shellfish, seafood, cheese, milk, eggs and meat. Fine. The main function of this sodium is key role in body salt-water balance, roles in muscles and neural function. We all know it that we need sodium in our diet. Okay. Why? Because it affects the chronic deficiency, that is muscle cramps and hyponatremia. So, these were the important minerals and we need them in our daily diet. Deficiency of these minerals will cause the deficiency diseases. So, we all must take care of it, that we should take a balanced diet beside taking the fast food. Clear? So, hope it was an interesting lecture for you. Hope everything is clear to you. Thank you.